this video, we will discuss acceleration. We now know that objects have a velocity, which is how fast it is moving and where it is going. In some cases, that velocity might be constant. For instance, the cup that is sitting on my desk right now has a constant velocity of 0. It's not going anywhere. However, if I were to carelessly knock it off my desk, then it would start moving downward. Since it is moving downward, that means it has a velocity. As it continues to fall, it picks up more and more speed. Since the velocity of my cup is changing, we say that it is accelerating. In this example, the acceleration caused the cup to speed up. If we consider the downward direction to be the positive direction, which is our choice to make, then the downward velocity is positive. Since the acceleration made the downward velocity greater, the acceleration is considered to be positive. On the other hand, if the cup were to somehow rise up in the air, that would be the result of a negative acceleration. Now, imagine I throw my cup straight up in the air. My cup starts off with some initial upward velocity, but then it starts to slow down, because gravity is causing a constant acceleration downward, which opposes the cup's current upward direction. After a bit of time, the acceleration will completely counter the cup's upward velocity, and the cup will have a velocity of 0. After that, the cup will now have a downward velocity. Therefore, acceleration can speed up an object, slow it down, and even reverse its direction. The typical unit of acceleration that we will use is meters per second per second. Let me explain what that means. Meters per second is a unit of velocity. Meters per second means how much the velocity changes per second. So if my cup is accelerating downward at 10 meters per second, that means that in one single second, my cup can go from not moving at all to moving at 10 meters per second downward, which is actually pretty fast. So let's say you want to measure the acceleration of an object. The direct information that you need is the velocity at least two different points in time, and you should know the amount of time that passed between those 2 points in time. After all, acceleration is a measure of how quickly the velocity changes. Once you have this information, you can simply say that acceleration equals the change in velocity divided by the change in time. In this example here, the change in velocity between the two moments is 3 meters per second, and the moments are 1 second apart. So the acceleration is 3 meters per second per second. If the acceleration is constant, like in the case of gravity, then any 2 points will be good enough. But if the acceleration is changing, then you will want to choose 2 points as close together as possible. That will give you the acceleration in that small window of time. That's it for this video, but there is another video where we discuss how to use the acceleration to find the speed and the position of an object.